Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing today? This is Bobby Dose, the founder of Coder Foundry. We're still in lockdown. I think North Carolina's gonna be locked down for the rest of the month. So I've got Kevin here, who's still in his lockdown area at his house. Hey Kevin, how you doing?
I am. Hey, morning. How are you?
All right, cool. So we're in lockdown mode again. Still. Hey,
I don't know when this thing's going away.
I was going to give you some props there. I like that Mondo poster in the back.
Oh, my deep cut Darth Vader poster.
Yeah, I like it.
So I had this hung in the office for a while, if you remember, and no one actually got it. So if anybody gets my poster, let me know. I want to know what you think of it. Like, see if you understand it, because a lot of people don't. I think it's funny.
It looks like Creature from the Black Lagoon, an old 50s movie.
It does a little bit, but that's not what it's from.
Okay, that's not what it's from. All right, cool. But Mondo, I think it's Mondo News, I guess. They have some really cool stuff that comes out.
I don't know if this one was a Mondo one. I might not have gotten this one from there. I have a bunch from there, but I don't think I got this one from there.
Right. So exactly how do you get those? I've tried. I never win. Like the really popular ones.
I just get lucky.
Yeah.
I just get lucky sometimes. Or you show up there at like the exact time and you hit the buy button at the exact moment they have them. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But see, you do that with that and these sneaker releases and all that stuff. Like I can't do it that fast. I don't know what the deal is.
I just get lucky. I'm not gaming it, I promise. I'm not using a bot. I'm just... I don't. I wish I did.
What were those sneakers you got? They were like Games of Thrones Adidas or something? Or...
No, the last ones that I got, I bought some like Jordan 1s. I bought some Jordan 1s, like, and I'll tell you, I did flip them. I didn't like. I couldn't keep them. I bought them for $200, and I was like, people are paying $1,000 for these, so I'm like, I gotta flip them. Like, I'm not gonna have $1,000 pair of shoes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So I did ashamedly sell them. So, but that's just what it is. So yeah, we got a bunch of people in chat already. Let's see, we have what do we have here? We have Alfredo. We have MSV back again. That's awesome. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah,
and joining us. Life says finally. Like, I think he missed us over the weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we missed a Friday there, so we were on.
Yeah, we did miss a Friday. Yeah, we had a cool student demo thing on Friday, which was super good. Right. So we did that. So we had to go do that and miss fun time with you guys.
Right.
Oh, here we go. So this is what we're going to talk about today too. And we'll get back to this. But if you answered it in previous videos, share me which book's helpful for beginners. So that is what we're going to talk about. We have some recommendations.
Yeah, we have some actual books that you can go buy and purchase that we think are kind of recommendations for beginners if you're just trying to break in.
Yep.
Oh, I noticed that someone said that .NET 5 preview's out. It's right. It's out.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done it yet. So it was March 16th actually.
Oh, okay.
So it's been out for a minute. But yeah, so I'm looking into that. So
okay, cool. So we'll talk about that in a future video, maybe.
Yeah. So
there you go. Ragu says he finally caught us live. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
We're the same day every day, as long as you guys keep coming in. When it's just me and Kevin talking to each other for all day, then we'll quit.
We can do that too. We'll be here, and then when one person shows up, we'll be like, okay, we'll keep going. When no people show up, we'll quit.
Hey, so if you want to ask us a question, feel free to DM Kevin on Twitter. And
DM at Coder Foundry.
Talk to you live and see what's up. See how you're doing, and just love to talk to you about whatever it is you're doing. So, even if you have a question about like, hey, you're trying to start a project, you want to know something about will this idea work, feel free to troubleshoot your idea live on the show. Or anything, or any kind of question you have about breaking in or whatever. Love to do it.
Okay, before we talk about books, Aaron wants to know, you guys having another virtual session for the coding boot camp?
Yeah, July 6th. Yes.
We are.
We are.
You can go apply.
Selling it fast. So like, not to, if you want to come in, just come in right now and apply. So we are doing
you can go to coderfoundry.com/virtual, or you can go to coderfoundry.com/apply.
Right.
Too.
So we max our seats at 30. So I think we're up to 70 apps right now. So we're about 2 months out. So apply right now. If you want to get in, you got to take the quiz, you got to do some JavaScript stuff. And then we make selections after that. And then you got to interview live with us.
Adam was asking, how demo day go?
All right. It went good.
It was good. It was super good.
We have another one on Wednesday, maybe.
Yeah. You should come.
Adam, you should come.
Yeah. I think somebody's going to reach out to you, actually, Adam. Somebody might invite you to that.
Yeah, but reach out to Natasha, and she'll get you set up for demo day Wednesday. So should be good. So I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yusuf asks the stream's being recorded. Well, yeah, it is. It's on YouTube. So
it's on YouTube Live. You can watch them, and
It takes a little bit to get back up there. We have a playlist on our channel page too, a CF Live playlist. So once it gets encoded and YouTube does its thing in the background, that'll show back up again on that live list, and you can go back and watch it. So if you need to run off and do something, you can totally go ahead and do that.
So as you know, I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I don't know how this is being done because you're not supposed to do this, but on Twitter, people are posting shots of Infinity War and Endgame with crowd reaction in it. And there's one specifically when Captain America first picks up the Thor's hammer and the crowd goes nuts. So I know you're not supposed to record, but like that's the one thing I think I missed more than anything was like watching a movie with a crowd. Anyway, I just thought it was so, so now people are posting all these things. And so they came out where they're going to actually, when movie theaters open, they're going to re-release Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay, that's cool.
So I don't know.
That's cool.
Marvel just wants more money, but
maybe. But it is about an experience too. Now you go to the movies a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like a week. You go every week, right? Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
When it's open, you go every week. I don't go. So you go when it's like premiere night, right? Yeah. You go when it's like everybody's there and all the fanboys are there, and it's all like I go on like costumes. Yeah, I go on like Sunday morning when Grandma and Grandpa are there, and it's me and them.
Right. Now, the other secret to owning your own business is I used to go at, once summer started, I used to go at like 11:30, the first showing on Friday mornings.
Okay.
So when I would duck out, where's Bobby? And you guys didn't know.
He's at the movies
on Fridays. So, but I just did it in the summer because like the summer changed it. And so we were remarking the other day, we just missed it. But like when I was seeing the fan reactions, I remember when I saw, I think I saw Justice League in New York. In Times Square, New York.
Yep.
And I would go back to a New York theater in a minute to watch any fanboy movie.
Yeah.
It's not
was the crowd good then? It was
the crowd's great. I mean, if you're bothered by people talking over the film, it's a bad experience. Yeah. But if you want like the visceral reaction and the fanboy reaction, it was so cool.
Okay.
All right,
I did it slightly related to this just before we move on to what we're here to talk about. I did a Jurassic Park marathon this weekend.
Okay.
They have Fandango has all 5 movies for like $25.
Yeah.
For the whole lot. So I was like, I'm gonna get that. So I watched 4 or 5.
All right.
Good movies. You just they're great movies. It's not you know what you're getting with them, right? It's a monster movie where there's like something bad happens.
Yeah. So I watched over the weekend. I watched Isle of Dogs by Wes Anderson.
Okay, that's the animated thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
Have you seen his other stuff?
Oh, he's funny. Yeah, I have. Like that's why I watched it specifically because he directed it. But like, I was watching it, and a lot of the points like are relevant to today. I don't know what I think about it. Just watch it.
Okay,
it's kind of funny. It's about a dog flu.
Yeah,
And
it's been on my list for a while.
yeah, it's really good though, but it's quirky and it's weird, but it's good.
Okay,
So, but
cool.
it's very fun.
Here's an idea. Wilfredo Perez asking who wants to learn C# together. Maybe we'll form a
Code group.
group, or you guys can form a group.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but creating a group on something like Twitter, even, and having a hashtag that you guys talk amongst is kind of an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
Or set up a Slack channel.
Or a Slack channel. Or we could
Slack's
set
free.
one up. I mean,
Or
we do have
we
a
can
Slack
set one up.
enterprise version. We could set it up.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we'll talk about. Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
We'll look into that. Wilfredo. We'll look into that. See what we can do. Yep.
Okay, Paul wants us to get to this, so we will. We're not going to hold.
He needs to sleep.
It's late. He needs to sleep.
Where are you, Paul?
Okay.
Where are you at?
It's midnight. So where is he? He's 12 hours ahead of us. So he's going to be, somewhere, Asia somewhere. Or maybe even, I don't know, 12 hours difference from us.
That's where you're at. Let's get to our first book there, Kevin. Throw the first one up.
Yeah, let me, okay, let me.
He didn't want us to talk about the movie.
Share my screen.
Paul, get on with it. Get on with it. So
let me share my screen, and I have a where are we here? Here we go. This one. So I'm going to start with this one.
Okay. Yeah. So like
so
here's the whole thing about this. Most of the people that go to Coder Foundry end up buying this book. They use it as a learning tool and as a reference tool.
Actually, both of these. You can buy them separate, but you can get them together. And now I actually have these too right here at home that I own these.
Yeah.
Super thick books. Now here's why I like them. Just the first thing that I'll tell you about these is when you open them, any page that you go to, the design in this book is awesome.
Yeah. As far as
this book has great layout design. Yeah. Super good layout design. It's the best you're gonna see in just any book. I mean, they're super good. And there's a lot of information in them.
Yeah. And so like the reason we can recommend HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery books is because that stuff's pretty stable, especially, I mean, there are new stuff that's coming out all the time, but like it's pretty stable at this point. And so like that's a book that if you bought today would be pretty good for the next couple of years, unlike some of the other language books that are changing out. Like a C# book's going to change a lot. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yep. So you'll find, most students that come in, they come in with this book too.
Yeah, right.
We don't recommend it
with our, Scott Housen, we talked to him last week. This goes with the Coder Foundry theory as well. It's like the first thing you should learn is front end development, and which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you come to the school here, that's the first couple of weeks is spent on that, just JavaScript and HTML, CSS. We do use Bootstrap here, so this doesn't cover Bootstrap. But
right,
this lays the foundation for you to be able to understand Bootstrap pretty easily.
Yep. Right, MSV has these books, so that's cool. That's awesome. And it is like heavyweight champion.
All right.
It is. It's like they're the go-to books.
Yeah.
Now, Life has a good point here too. He's asking about this on this second book, JavaScript and jQuery. Yeah, I mean,
jQuery.
Yeah,
but
I get it, man. Used.
I don't know about React and Angular. They're more like frameworks. So like depends on what you're doing. If you're going to do a full blown website and you got back end, front end, back end, full stack, React, Angular, ASP.NET, those seems to be where the trends are going. But sometimes you just need to do some stuff in jQuery or JavaScript. But React and Angular are built on JavaScript, so it's good to understand what JavaScript is.
Yep.
So, but I get it. jQuery's fallen out of favor with some. I get it. Yeah. So skip the jQuery part.
The JavaScript part's enough. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
The Green Book.
The Green Book.
We call this the Green Book.
Yeah.
It's always like, where's the Green Book? And I'd be like, it's on my desk.
So I've read through this book. It's pretty good. And so like it's 189 programming questions. What I would suggest you do is code through this book. If as part of your interview prep. I don't think this is the one thing that solves everything, but it's part of it. For the companies that are out there giving programming quizzes, this will help you be able to understand those when they're asked and be able to solve them, even though you won't have necessarily the exact question, but you'll be able to solve these. It's pretty good. I learn about linked lists. It breaks it down into like different types of problems. And so like when you understand the problem type and then whatever they ask you specifically, you should be able to solve. So
yeah, I think it gives you enough of an idea, doesn't it, to be able to
Mhm.
solve other things that aren't necessarily in the book.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I think Cracking the Code Interview is a good book.
Yep, definitely.
I'd like to talk to this lady one time. I think I'd like to get her on the show. Maybe we can do that. Go talk about her book.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be super good. Yeah.
I'll email her today.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Okay, let's go to, let me move this one over there. Let's talk about that one last. Eloquent JavaScript. Again, a lot of students come in with this one as well.
Right.
Again, these books are all kind of cheap too.
Yeah, you can get them on
20 something
Kindle. If you like
It's a
Kindle,
good deal.
or paper.
Yeah. Those first 2 books, by the way, just go back to that real quick. Both those books, you get them together as a pack, $27.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deal. I think I paid more for mine.
Yeah. So the one thing about this book, the reason we like it, and you know this, Kevin, is project based. So you end up building projects, which is our whole methodology inside of Coder Foundry, is build a project. You can learn individual syntax all you want, but putting it together in a project is the way to go. So this is a little bit step up than the other books. So Eloquent JavaScript will be a little bit higher level, and that's why it's like the 3rd book.
Yep. Zulu has the green book, so that's cool. That's awesome.
Man. Yeah, he's got
good
the green
book. Definitely a good book. Let's see what we got next. Let's delve into the one that Life said better be in this book, better be in this list.
Yeah, Clean Code.
And it is Clean Code. I've not actually read this. I'm not a developer, but I've not read this book. But I always see it in the classroom. Jason loves this book. I know that. Right. Jason's our lead instructor. Mm-hmm. He loves this book.
Right.
So Clean Code of this book is to create good code.
Right. And so it's more of a craftsmanship, like it says, than necessarily how to code book. It's not a really how to code book. So after you've learned how to code and you have an understanding, this is a good read. You know,
and you do have to have an understanding to be able to read this book. This is not the the first book you should pick up.
No. So just
I do know that.
Get stuff working, and then worry about later on. You can improve your ability to write clean code. So it's kind of cool. I like it. I mean, it's a good book.
Yep. Zulu has a question here. How to study the green book? I have it, but can't figure out how to solve those problems.
You know what, Zulu? I think you can Google all 189 of them.
Probably.
And Geeks for Geeks, I think, has about all of them on there.
Okay, yeah. So if you genuinely can't figure one out, do it that way. The good thing about that book, though, too, is that you can jump around in it. It's not necessarily a linear book. I think they start easier and get more complex, but you can jump around a little bit too, which is good.
So let me I'm going to share my screen here. Let me show this link I have.
Okay.
Let's see here. Chrome tab. Okay. As soon as I get to it, we'll just keep going. I'll get to it. Here it is. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. So like this site right here, Geeks for Geeks, has a lot of coding challenges, and you can actually you can really get in there and search for the problem in that book by going here, and you can more than likely find it here. And then it typically gives you the solution too. So this is pretty cool. I mean, so like some of this stuff is you can do coding challenges in here, and a lot of it is kind of interview prep type things if you get that. But I'm here to tell you though, you can do all of this, and if you don't have a portfolio, you're still gonna. It's better if you have a portfolio, and if you do both, that's great.
Right. So, this is like an add-on thing, right? We're not saying this is the only way.
Yeah.
Is to get these books, read them, and then you still need a portfolio.
Yeah. So like in here, this is what I'm talking about, the topics in here. So like you'll see a lot of coding questions on arrays, and a lot on linked lists, and a lot on strings. And so like this allows you to like just click on the actual topic, and then they have all these kind of coding challenges in here. And so like what I've seen is everybody that asks a question, they always come down to like certain topics or oh, that's a merge to sorted array question. Like the language
Right.
around it will change, but the method doesn't.
Right.
So I firmly believe that a lot of these guys interviewing are looking at this and devising their own unique questions. But like when you see them come out, they're like the same. They do the same thing. So I think this is a good place to do it. So,
and this was Geeks for Geeks, right?
Geeks for Geeks. Here, I'll put it up here. Well, it's just Geeks for Geeks.
There you go. It's at the bottom there.
Yeah, right.
Computer Science Portal for Geeks. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I think that's a good thing that you can like just start looking at. It's a free resource. I think they have some paid versions if you want to.
Okay, Adam said the first answer to any developer question, Google it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Live said the second, have you tried turning it on, off and on, which is definitely true.
Yeah. Have you rebooted?
Do that a lot. That goes for anything video production too.
Right.
You turn it off and on again.
Mm-hmm.
Solves half your problems. Okay, let's go back to our list here because we have one more on our list to talk about. What do we have? We have something right up our alley.
Yeah, so recommending C# books, they're only good for about a year because this does change quite a bit. But this covers ASP.NET Core, ML.NET. It's going to cover cross-platform development. So I think that in itself is good. They are using VS Code, so it's a free editor that you can follow along with. So I think that's good. And this is covering all the way up to .NET Core 3, which is pretty current right now. The .NET 5 books will start coming out this summer. But I think this book would probably be good for a year or two, where it's the changes between that and something new won't change as much. So it's more like it covers a lot of things and not just one thing.
Right.
So
I'm going to put some links down in the comments too.
Yeah.
These.
And again, we're not sponsored by any of these authors. We just these are just books we like. So you can follow him on Amazon, and he'll put the links out there. If you end up buying them, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, cool. So there you go. So just to review, John Bucket, web design,
first,
books, HTML, CSS, JavaScript first.
Yeah.
Cracking the coding interview.
Maybe second or third.
Yep.
Second for sure. After you get the other ones down.
Yep.
And then Clean Code, probably the last book you need to buy of this list, and then buy the C# book. Yep. So that way you can get up to date on .NET Core, ASP.NET. And there's a lot of resources for C# out there on the ASP.NET website from Microsoft, the official resources from Microsoft. You can exhaust all of those before you take a class or anything like that,
Right.
All right, cool. Got any questions today? It seems like they're rolling in.
Let's take a look over here. Yeah. Let's take
so Adrian, Adrian liked our book.
I don't see that one. Where'd you see that? Oh, here you go. Yeah, here you go. Just picked up that book. It's really
fighting. We're fighting.
There you go. Oh, okay, there you go.
You just picked it up.
Really good.
It's actually really good.
Cool.
So
yeah, good. Again, it's project based, so we like those kind of books. So
yeah, DM Kevin if you want to get on the show live. We'd like to talk to somebody today and see what's up and see how you're handling the lockdown wherever you're from. If you're from another country, that's great. See what's going on around the world.
A direct message to Coder Foundry or at Coder Foundry on Twitter.
On Twitter.
And I will send you a link back, and then you can come on.
You can come on. You get in the green room, eat the snacks. The virtual snacks.
The virtual snacks. Interesting question. John says, you recommend the web stack before C#?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. So we're talking about full stack web development. And then if you want to do full stack web development, you've got to learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So if you're trying to learn ASP.NET before you don't know what a table is or a div tag or anything like that, then it can be kind of hard struggling with the other side of it. So like you have to learn it in some order. That's our recommended order. Of course, you can learn it in any order you want. That's our recommended order. And that's the way we teach the class. And so we think you should learn JavaScript and C Sharp, or some kind of systems language. We think C Sharp is a good one right now. It could be Java too, but just pick that web stack and learn it.
Yep. Adam said, show him a book that he doesn't already own. Apparently he has a library of these. He has them all.
He just bought them all on Kindle. All right. So that's kind of cool.
John also asked JavaScript versus learning C Sharp.
Yeah, you need to learn both.
What aspect, but
yeah, I think you need to learn both. I mean, it's just the way it is. So the front end is obviously built in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We call that the front end tools, the front end web stack. And then the back end, or the systems language side, C Sharp on the back end for ASP.NET. But then once you do learn C Sharp, you can break off into Windows development and mobile development. So,
here's a good question related to that too, Raphael. And welcome back, Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael, how much JavaScript? It can go pretty deep.
I don't want you to spend a year, because you can learn enough to get going, and build a small project in it, learn how to manipulate the DOM, learn how to communicate to the back end with JavaScript. All of those things, call an API, with fetch or something like that. And then once you feel like you're pretty comfortable to manipulating the DOM and doing those things, then start building a project. And then once you start building a project, the things that you don't know will fall out. Like, ooh, I don't know how to do that. And then you Google that and learn the rest. I don't think you'll ever know everything there is to know about JavaScript or everything there is to know about C Sharp. So you can get into like tutorial purgatory, where that's all you do is tutorials. Branch out, build a project, learn what you can about, Google the rest, and just keep going. Interview as fast as you can. I'd say 6 months to 1 year. That's how much time I would spend learning a web stack.
Yep. The answer is, how much JavaScript? Enough to get a job, right?
Yeah, enough to get a job, and then
to build a project to get a job.
And then figure out and then once you start learning how to Google this stuff and read about it, you can start seeing answers in Stack Overflow that aren't directly related to what you're seeing, but you can see what they're doing, and you can take it, modify it, and change it instead of just cut and pasting solutions in. So build a project, Raphael. All right, cool.
That's it. Adam said he bought the books because we told them.
That's cool. Yeah.
That works.
That does work. It worked. All right, cool.
Our friend Stian here, Life, is looking for, let's do daily code this summer. I'm not familiar with daily code. Something takes around 30 to 60. Is that an actual program, or is that just a self-study program?
I don't know. 1 hour code
Any
movement.
Suggestions?
So here's what we think. I mean, daily's okay. I think blocks of time is better. I think you could spend a Saturday for 4 to 5 hours on a Saturday and do better than spending 4 hours, 1 hour a day. That's just
right. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
we've talked about this before. There was the following the 100 days of code thing,
100 days of code,
the 1 hour a day thing. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, we thought it was better to do a longer block. Yeah. If you can do it every day, great. But if you can't, doing a longer block, less days is better.
Exactly. So 30 to 6 minutes a day, that works for cycling and lifting weights. I don't think it works that much for coding. I think you just got to spend more times. A lot of times, man, it can take you 30 minutes just to get going, and then you're getting going, and then it's time to quit. So that's why the blocks of time is preferable. So you take out a 4 hour day of your Saturday, or a 5 hour day of your Saturday. Something like that when you're not working, or at night or something. Instead of watching, binge watching, Netflix, you can code at night from 7 to 11 or something. Yeah.
Yep. That's it. And here's a problem that we do see. Thomas recognizes, very true. Some people stay learning and don't do projects.
Yeah, man.
The learning rabbit hole is deep, especially these days with things like Udemy and these other online learning places. You can buy courses for days.
You can. And building a project reinforces the learning. So you do need to go through some tutorials. You do need to go through some classes. You got to get taught somehow, some way. But there's nothing like saying, I want to build this. That's not a course. That's not a tutorial. I just want to build this particular software project and just do it. and then you figure out all the things that you need to do to achieve that goal. And again, we talk about project archetypes. If you look at the one coding project video that we have, the project archetype is solve a business problem, have authorization, authentication, security built in, communicate to a database, build a clean, responsive UI. If you do all those, that's a really good software project. So that can solve any problem. So just do projects.
And on the project-based thing too, I watched some of our students demo those projects on Friday.
It's impressive.
They were super good.
Yeah,
they were super good. I was like, hold on, you built that thing in 3 weeks? That's impressive.
Right. And that's the thing too. That's a true point, Kevin. And like a lot of guys or people out there listening to this, we don't say this off the cuff. We actually get them to build these projects, and then we help them demo those to employers, and then we watch the reaction from the employers. So it's like we know it works. They're like, "Wow, okay, that's a cool project. That's neat." You know. And even if we had 5 people demoing to employers on Friday, 3 of them did bug trackers. They were all looking different. They all brought their own flavor to it. They all brought their own creativity to it.
Yeah.
It was
they all brought their own features in some cases too that went above and beyond the SRS that we gave them.
Right.
So we gave them the requirements, but then some of them went ahead. Like one student had the reporting function. That was super good. The reports that you can pull out with PDFs and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Because she had seen that somewhere else she had worked.
Yeah.
And she wished that was a feature in the issue tracking systems she was using. Because a lot of times they'll get issues for the day and they just print them off and check them off. Yes, you could do it online, but sometimes it's good to have a piece of paper where it's at your desk and it's easy. So, yeah.
Let's see. MSV asking, will you do any small boot camps, self-paced, covering the main topics?
No.
We don't.
I'm sorry, man. No, I don't think so. Here's why. I think for me, I think this self-paced stuff is well covered. All right. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm making a commitment to people that come in that I'm going to find you a job. So we're doing the things necessary to find a job, what I think is the best way to do. That involves me sitting with you, or you sitting here 8 to 9 hours a day for 12 weeks. And I understand not everyone can do that. But that's the way we've chosen to do it, simply because there's a lot of self-paced curriculum out there, either through Pluralsight, Udemy. There's a lot of it out there. So we just do it a way that we think is the quickest way, not necessarily the cheapest way, but the quickest way to get you to market. And is compressing the time frame that you're learning and then forcing you to spend blocks and blocks of hours learning how to code and turn that into a project, show it to someone, get hired, and then you're spending your daily, every day you get up, you're coding every single day because someone's paying you to do it. That's our methodology. We're probably never going to stray from that. I probably could sell a Udemy course on C#. I don't think I'll ever make one, though.
Yeah.
No.
George says, after your last videos, I don't know which videos about C#. We have a bunch. Yeah. C#'s been a hot topic for us. We talk about it a lot. But you chose to go with .NET.
Okay, good, good, George. Cool. I hope it works out for you. Build a project in C#, man, and then you'll see. It's very powerful, and then the demand is vastly underreported. Even as high as demand is, it's vastly underreported. A lot of people compare it directly to some other language, but you don't realize when you're searching for these jobs, you got to look for .NET, you look for ASP.NET, you look for web forms, you might look for desktop. You just can't type in just C# to find every job out there. There's different ways that's done. But when you put all those together, you'll see that more people are using it than you possibly thought about. So it's kind of cool.
Yep. Let's see, Arnab. We don't really know the answer to this. I don't, so I'm assuming you don't either. Books or websites for Python. We're not really into Python.
Python right now. It's cool though. I mean, like
the Python crowd.
Yeah. So like keep find someone on Twitter and then just put that in there on Twitter and at somebody that's at Python, that's doing Python, and then I think that can.
There you go. David has a good point, and welcome back, David. Can only agree. First job. He got his first job because he explained and presented a software project at the interview. No matter how good they are, every project helps.
Yep.
We 100% agree with that.
Yep.
That's been like our secret sauce, really,
It is
right?
the secret,
a lot of
man,
times.
and we still get pushback on it. Like,
Yeah.
like I think one of the things on YouTube was like, well, if I had to do all that, of course I would get a job.
Like,
yeah.
Isn't
So,
that the point?
You actually
or somebody was
code.
like, why would I? Somebody else commented like, why would I do that like unpaid? Like, what are you talking
You're
about?
investing in you. I'm not saying build it for someone else. Build it for yourself. You should always, you don't charge yourself. But like, so I think David's right. I mean, just listen to this advice, build a project, show it during the interview. Most coders, I would say it's probably 95% of the coders out there do not have a portfolio with projects on it. And then just show them, talk about them at a deep technical level, like how the page is constructed, how the code works, the logic behind the code. If you can do that, you can circumvent code trivia questions, whiteboard interviews, especially if you ask them to see it right in the very beginning. Say, hey, I've got a portfolio of projects. Do you mind looking at those? And that's my opening salvo during an interview question. And a lot of people don't think that works, but it does. Because they're like, wow, you've got one of those? Okay, let's check that out.
Yeah,
only
the
most hardened interviewer would say, no, I don't want to see your portfolio. I got my questions. You can't work here unless you can answer my 5 questions. And then, and if you fail at that, maybe that's not a good place to work.
Yeah.
So
didn't you have a story about Dave and a trivia question?
Yeah.
The best coder you've ever met, right?
Yeah. So Dave is one of my business partners here at Cortex and Coder Foundry, and he is by far the best programmer I've ever worked with, by far. Like, it's unbelievable how intelligent and smart this guy is at coding. And they asked him some code trivia question, and he just blanked on it. He says, I don't know the answer to that. And they didn't bring him in on the contract. I remember we got back to the contract. It was like 6 months later, and they were, and so we presented Dave again to it. But this time I told him about the projects and stuff we worked on. And then when he got there, they had a monthly report that ran in 45 days. The monthly report ran in 45 days. It took him 45 days to run this report because they had this massive, massive database. Dave got there 2 weeks later. It ran in 4 minutes.
That's funny.
And so and then so he like solved this big thing for them, but because of code trivia, 6 months ago, he wasn't fit to work there.
Yeah.
Crazy. Just show projects, man. Just show projects. Talk about stuff you built.
That's crazy. So here you go. Stian says he's talking about channels being biased, and we are too, and we are. We have we get it. We know. But we made factual points that the channels didn't. So that's cool. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And yeah, we're not funded by Microsoft. So.
Yeah, I wish we were, but we're not. I mean, that'd be good. I'd put the little flag right here on the bottom. But no, we're not.
Put that on there anyway, but they're not paying for it.
Yeah, we can't. We can't. That's like trademark infringement, but like we can't do it. But I think what we're saying too, Life, is I think it's Stein is his name.
Yeah, Stein.
Yeah, Stein. I think the thing that we say all the time is, regardless of what you learn how to code, coding's a good career. All right. So you can make money with C#. You can make it with Java. You can make it with Python. You can make it with PHP. You can make it with full stack JavaScript, React, and Angular. All of these things are valid. The reason we're biased is we're trying to talk to people that are trying to break in for the first time, get their first software job, and we're giving them a definitive stack to learn and focus on that. So many people, it was like last week, some guy said he's looking at 5 to 9 languages in a week. That's too many, man.
Crazy.
That's too many, because whatever you can build with C#, you also can build with Java. So when you're learning, there's no reason to learn both at this point. Just learn the one that's going to get you a job. And what we say is Microsoft being the pushers of .NET and C#, it's going to be in demand. It just is. Web frameworks change a lot. And so like if you've watched Angular through the years, Angular 1 comes out, everyone's crazy. Angular 2 comes out, people hated it. And then now it's seen a resurgence in the last couple of years. React Native comes out, and I'm sure it's going to go through its ups and downs on these frameworks. So that's why we say learn JavaScript, figure out some full stack way to build full stack web applications, and go to work and get a job. We just think C# is very useful on the web, mobile, desktop. And so it's just a natural thing that you can bank your career around. And it works for me. So that's why we show it. That's why we talk about it.
Yep, 100%. Wilfredo asks, any project ideas? He's in tutorial hell and needs to build a project. We have a great one. And I'm going to put the
link in
video in the comments.
Yeah, just watch it. We have a demo, and then we also have, we talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So try that out. Try to build the bug tracker. Yeah.
There we go. Stian pointed that out for us too. We're a little bit behind on chat here.
And he said it's really good. All right. Yes. Thanks. Appreciate the shout out. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a popular video for us.
Oh, and let's get Tech Rally. Do we have any guests this week? Working on it, man. Tech Rally.
Yeah, we're trying. We still have some any guests this week. We still have some offers out to people. So
yeah. So like some that are good. So we'll see if we can get the Fortune 100 guy on.
I'll tell you somebody who's not coming on. I'm going to call him out because he's not coming on. I tried to get the AI guy from Unity to come on, which would have been super good, but he couldn't.
He's busy.
He's busy.
Yeah. So we'll still reach out to those guys. So we've got some people in the infrastructure space that I'm talking to, trying to get arrange a schedule for them, and talk about smart buildings and how that works. I'm fascinated by that. It's not super necessarily coding related, but like it's when you learn, like the reason I want to learn about these things is when you learn how something works, you can start looking into what kind of software solutions you could build. And so like that's why I'm interested right now in infrastructure, 5G, the companies that roll this out, because I want to know, like, why are you rolling out? Where are you rolling it out? What are the problems customers and people are trying to solve? And then that leads me to my creativity to think, ooh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if I could write something that did this. That's kind of cool. So we'll talk to some of these 5G people this week, hopefully.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah, cool.
Glenn was asking us who's late. He wanted the list of the books. I put the list of the book in comments, so you should see them down there.
Yeah, and I think Glenn's coming in July.
Oh, cool.
I think. So I think that's kind of cool. Just read them up.
Okay. Let's see. What's he talking about here? John was asking 12 weeks. I'm guessing he's talking about the boot camp here. Yeah. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, C# and SQL.
And SQL and Link and MVC. So those are the core languages, what you're talking about. But if you add SQL, we call it the Fluent in 5 Languages t-shirt that you get if you graduate. So you get an official t-shirt if you graduate. And then, but that's it. But we're really teaching John B is how to build full stack web development. And we also cover some cross-platform mobile stuff as well with Xamarin. But it's about how to build a complete application, soup to nuts, front to back. That's, if you want to know what we're teaching, that's what we're teaching. These are the languages we're using to get you there.
Okay, MSV has recommendation. Part of the Crash Course book and automate the boring stuff with Python, which I think is probably an O'Reilly book, right? And they have that their series.
Yeah. So that's probably pretty good bet. Cool. Most of their stuff's pretty good.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I don't want to be an official book review guy. I mean, if you make a book, they're hard to make. So
yeah. David noticed you changed your office again. You did. I thought about that earlier. You're not in the other one today.
Yeah. This is David. This is an easy setup. This is an easy win. I can just just plug my laptop in. The other one takes a little bit of effort to get everything reset up, move some equipment around. So it's an easy setup. And I'm getting ready to. I've got a meeting here when we get off this, so I wanted to be kind of set up and ready to go right after this.
Ready to roll.
Yeah. So it's easy setup.
Let's see. We have a lot of questions in here. Let me jump down to the bottom here.
All right.
Education. I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Peter, any suggestions for books or learning application architecture? I'm stuck at building complex things.
Okay. So there's a couple of things. I'd have to know more information what you're talking about, which application architecture you're talking about. But in general, there's design patterns like MVC for web, MVVM for like mobile and desktop. And those are like the patterns you follow to how you do your navigation, how do you pass data between the front and the back. Then there's microservices architecture, and then services architecture. So there's a lot to learn about each one of those things. So it just depends on what you're trying to build. So right now, I just know a little bit more, and then maybe we can get you a recommendation.
Here you go. Sticking with the cool questions today. Balancing grades at university and a portfolio.
They are hard to balance.
Yeah.
So if you're at university, man, you got to pass those classes. It's just the way it is.
You paid for it.
You're paying for it, so you got to pass those classes. But you're going to want to build something on your own. So if you take a class in coding, I don't care what it is, what you need to do on the side is work on something utilizing that class. Here's the only problem I see with the university is that it's over 4 years. And so like you may learn SQL in like second year, and like you may learn something like C# or something in the third year. You may learn HTML, CSS in some other year. You've got to eventually put all of those together into a project, and that's what a project does. There's no better time to think of an app or a project to build than while you're in university. You know, you can launch a company out of college. So a lot of the great companies were launched out of university. Facebook out of Stanford. Yeah,
definitely. So Adric, I guess it's Adric, a junior in college, done well in 3 Java classes. That's awesome. So you're saying I shouldn't learn C# since I already know Java?
So I think it'll be easy to pick up C#. Super easy for you to do it because the languages are very close. It's the frameworks that are different underneath the things that what they call it. But as far as like the syntax are kind of identical. But .NET Core is the one to learn on the C# side right now.
Yeah, and plus this depends on how far you are into Java too.
Right,
like if you're, I think you've said this before, Bobby. When you understand something already, use that. Right, use that as your tool. Exactly. And Java's pretty safe. It is. It's pretty popular. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the Java jobs out there are going to be focused around doing like Android development. There's also some setbox and like embedded development that goes on with Java a lot. On website, I still think even though there is Spring MVC, I know that, but I think still ASP.NET is probably the more predominant web platform. It just depends on what you want to build.
Right.
So Java's been around a long time.
MSV mentions in his region, I don't know why, colleges only teach C language.
They want to teach you, they want to teach you memory management, and then they show you a managed language like C# later.
Yeah, and then tell you not to bother.
Right. I think object oriented is really big in C language, so that's another reason. It's not that it's bad to know. I just know that C is used primarily in things like embedded development, desktop development for high throughput type things that are trying to service. But if you're looking at like business applications, like a website or a service, that's going to be written in higher level languages like C# or Java or JavaScript. So, but most colleges do teach C.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that. This is a good idea. Adam has an easy project: copy an existing app.
Yeah, make it your own.
Yep. Yeah. I did one programming course in school. They called it database, but it wasn't really. You had to create an app. You had to create something, and I did a social networking app. So you could get a profile and you could post to it. And I just ripped off the idea of Facebook at the time. Yeah. And I just recreated it.
Yeah, Adam, I would watch out building that fake charity. Just don't publish it. I don't want you to go to jail.
Yeah, you're gonna have somebody knocking on your door.
Someone gives you
that's the
$1,000 for
Yeah, you don't want to go down that road.
Save the whales or something. But
David's approach to college is interesting. It's 100%, 12% Monday, 23% Tuesday. I like the 5% on Friday. Nothing on the weekends. Really not working on the weekends in college.
My whole advice in college, especially if you're a freshman or a sophomore, is don't take 8 a.m. classes. It's just asking for an F.
Because you're just not going to show up.
You're just going to be asleep. So, I was always fond of the Monday, Wednesday, and then have Tuesday, Thursday off. Monday, Wednesday, Friday that's classes. Cool.
Yeah, but Friday's tough.
I know it is tough.
You want that 3-day weekend.
The ones I hated the most were the Wednesday classes, like 6 to 10, 1 day a week. I hated them. You just want to fall asleep.
It's like an evening. Yeah.
So, but
that's funny.
Try to get it mine 3 days a week.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Steen has a recommendation. That link won't work, but some product sites, I'm guessing, building API, ASP.NET Core. So there you go.
Yeah, so like APIs are good. It's definitely a foundational part of like how all these websites are built. Building a RESTful API and the tools that are out there for you is really robust in the .NET world. And I think it's how mobile apps are put together. It's how web apps are put together. And probably if your desktop app needs to communicate with some kind of cloud-based service, it's how desktop apps are also put together. So if you need to do integration work or something like that, this is a good way to do it. So
David said no weekend work. It's 100%. You need to give him 110, David. 110. 10% on the weekends.
100%.
That's funny.
That is funny.
What else do we have here? What else can we talk about? Let me see. Quiz. Let's talk about quiz. I love the quiz. When people go take the quiz. If you haven't already taken it, you can go to coderfoundry.com/quiz and take our developer quiz. Takes you an hour. It's 50 questions. I think it's fun, but that's just me.
Question 13.
Question 13.
I think that's the number. It's either 12 or 13.
Take your time on it. Maybe we'll talk about that here one day.
Yeah. Well, then we give it away though. I mean, it's like.
Oh yeah, but it's one question.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come up with a slightly different version of it.
Okay. Right.
And we can talk about that. That'd be super interesting.
Yeah.
How would you guys? We're talking about this too. How would you guys? So in previous streams, we've done a little gamer quiz too. How would you guys think about doing more quiz stuff? I mean, do we like that? Do we not like that?
Yeah. So like, I want to know, like, we could ask some. We could probably put together some code trivia questions for C#, the ones that we see in the wild, to see kind of like how people do. So
maybe we'll do a giveaway with that, like a prize for winning.
Yeah,
the thing. Maybe we'll pitch you guys against each other. That'd be cool.
Right. Yeah,
like a fight to the C# death or something.
Right. Or we could do comic trivia on Marvel.
We could do that too. But
yeah,
we could do that too.
So anyway, it should be kind of cool.
Definitely. What does he say here? What does David say? Hold on. Next week, I go to my boss and ask for 100% week. Okay. Let's see here.
So you guys are quiet today. So like, so let's can wrap it up here in about 5 minutes. I got to get going. So I do think that I found a book on architecture with C#.
Okay.
Since you
pull
guys
that one up.
Yeah.
Pull that one up. I actually have. I need to share the. I didn't share the C# one in chat, did I? So let me pull that C# book up in chat here too, and I'll put that in the. I'll put that in the chat down here too. That's the C# book we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, so I'll send this one to you. You can put this on the site. So this is like architecture. So again, this is a book that you're going to use after you learn how to code. It's not the first
something
book
that's a little bit further in the weeds. Yeah.
Right. But if you're curious about that stuff, this is good.
Wow, $20 on a Kindle versus $60 in paperback. That's kind of crazy. It's a big price difference. I guess Kindle's the way to go in this case.
Yeah. So this week we're getting some more guests on here this week, and so I think that'll be good. I'll send it to you. But I think if you want to learn more about I'm also going to do some coding this week with you guys and show you a little thing that I'm working on. Ooh, and maybe something in JavaScript that I'm working on. Yeah, at one of the things I'm working on.
Okay,
get done with it. So, but
Adam says he wants to give us a gaming quiz, by the way, which maybe we'll do that at some point. You picked 2 difficult questions, though. I know it's a gotcha quiz, Adam. That's just we wouldn't do well at it.
I don't know.
I know I wouldn't, unless the answer was. Unless the question was, what was Madden football prior to
1993? We know that one.
Because I'm in with that. I've got
John
it.
I'm
down football. With that. That ever comes up in trivia in any other forum, I am golden.
So I think that's cool.
So yeah, your sneak peek. What is you going to give us a tease for the sneak peek? Something JavaScript?
Yeah. So like I'm working on a coding challenge, and I thought it's going to be released on YouTube. And so, like, I would maybe show that before I actually do the whole video on it here live.
Oh, cool.
One of the things I'm working on. So, like, a lot of things that I've done are coding challenges that we ask students to do. So I'm going back and I'm updating one that we do to make it a little bit better.
Okay.
It's probably too hard, but it's just better. I mean, and it solves a particular problem. I call it like a level 1 JavaScript course, a level 1, like really easy problem to solve. But then what I do is make it a little bit harder is I put a UI around it. And so a lot of the work is around making the UI relevant.
Okay, cool.
So that brings in more problems you have to solve just to get the UI to work. So you end up learning a lot more than just like Fizz Buzz per se, if you watch one of our Fizz Buzz videos.
Yep.
Because they made fun of my Fizz Buzz video is an hour and a half long. It's called Fizz Buzz the movie because it was like featured.
I forgot. Yeah, somebody called it Fizz Buzz the movie. That's so funny.
It takes a minute to show you like how I built the UIs out and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's not just the problem solving part took a couple minutes. The how to extrapolate into a portfolio piece took an hour.
And I think that's the approach for me with all Java coding challenges is how can I turn this into like a little project itself. And so if you looked at Notary, the one we did for Notary, that's ended up like how do I pull something off disk of JavaScript that turned into a full-blown project. Because then it was like, oh, why am I pulling something off disk? Like, why do I want to do this? What's the scenario? Oh, what if you're want to display some text in a browser? Okay. What is the text? And then it turned into like, well, what are all these books that I could show? I could show Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, just way more interesting.
Yeah. And then how do I search this text? And so it just kept going on and on and on.
I like the stats and stuff that you did too on that one. The stats from the book. Like the most used words and those kind of things were super interesting. And then filtering out those filler words. Was super interesting to find the real words that are used the most. That was interesting. I like that.
So that was using a white list or like a noise list that we were coming up with, which is a common thing when you're trying to when you're doing like speech to text.
Right.
You want to like filter out noise lists, and so like there's a lot in English. There's a lot of noise list words as are common. Once it went out to some other language, I didn't really go that far, but I'm sure it's the same thing that exists in Spanish or, Russian or something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But we'll probably do that in the next couple of days, and then we'll bring a guest on this week. Hopefully we can get one of them founded in. We'll let you know a couple of days in advance.
Come on, yeah. Yep, that'd be super cool.
So
anything else to wrap up with here?
I don't think so. We're 1 hour and we got 40 seconds left.
Cool. Let me talk about 2 things then. We talked about the quiz already. You can go get the merch. You can also get it down below too. There's a link down below. You can go do that too. I don't know if you guys ordered some stuff. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, some of you got a hoodie. So thank you.
If you want to send us anything outside of the show, you can. info@coderfoundry.com. You can drop us an email. And if you want to come on or do something or have an idea for us, send it there. Take a look. And last thing, you can buy Fizz Buzz Energy because there's like 2 words left. I think.
All right, I gotta call out my friend Tech Rally here. So here we go. Let me see here. Not sure what we'll talk about. We'll try to get on the show tomorrow. We've booked a guest, Kevin.
That's cool.
So awesome. We'll send you a DM. We'll find some stuff to talk about. That'd be fun. Whatever you're talking about on your show or your channel, we'll talk about it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Now he has to show up.
Yeah.
So he's committed.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap this up. I think you got a call you got to jump on. So.
Yeah, I do. And then finally, you know, it's funny. We actually talked about this Thursday.
Sure. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we actually, Kevin, David, me and Kevin, we actually had a discussion about our background. We were like, man, we could put some. I thought about making a relief of Visual Studio in there.
So maybe we'll come back with that this week.
Yeah, maybe.
If I have time, maybe I'll do it today.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Shouldn't be too hard. The fans want it, Kevin. You have to deliver now. So
I'll try. I can't promise.
So, all right. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got some guests coming this week. Maybe Tech Rally, maybe not. We'll see. We'll figure out some stuff to talk about. But anyway, and then some live coding this week. I'll do some live coding and solve a JavaScript problem, and maybe that'll spur some discussions. But DM Kevin if you'd like to join the show tomorrow, and we'll be on there. We'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully we can eat lunch and talk about code again tomorrow.
See you
Good luck and keep coding.